Okay, so today we're going to build this using an old pallet, an old laptop, and less than $50 worth of parts off of eBay. We have a security camera monitor, rustic style. If you got rustic furniture, like we have the rustic ranch look. So it fits right in. So let's get started. Okay, so we start with a rather aged and worn, weathered looking pallet. And I use a sawzall with a demolition blade, and go down through here and cut the nail heads off, the nails off of the screws, whatever it's put together with in this case. And then I'll use a punch and a hammer and drive the stubs back out. So let's get started. Take a pause here to show you what I get to work with. This is a Delta Rockwell table saw. It's an 8-inch with the 4-inch jointer on the side. And then I have added the wing out here with the router in it. So it's a router table saw, and jointer all in one. I picked this up. It was really rusty. The top was. I got it for $50. And it runs great. I put a new blade in it, cleaned all the rust off, waxed the top. And now I get to use it doing stuff like this. All right, so I'm going to knock these nails out. You can see the nail heads. There's a whole bunch of them. And I don't want to run this over the joiner because I'm going to use the joiner as a planer to clean this side up. This is going to be the inside of the box. I don't want to hit any nail heads, so I got to drive those out. Just a punch and a hammer, and away you go. Okay, now we're gonna plane down this side on the joiner to make it nice for the inside of the box. Here's how you switch between table saw, which is what it's set for now, and joiner. Ooh, I forgot to lock my wheels down, but that's okay, I'll get to it in a minute. Slip that belt on, and that belt off. And now it's a joiner and not a table saw. While I'm thinking about it, let me lock down the wheels. so it doesn't move. Now I only want to do this face. I want the rest of it to look rustic and rugged. Those blades look like they need to be adjusted a bit. That's all right. I cleaned it up. See, it's a big difference. All right. Now then, next step. Okay, so I've already taken the monitor out of the laptop. There's a lot of videos on how to do that, and you know, to get these driver boards off of eBay for 25-30 bucks and send over from China. So then you can run, you know, all kinds of different things. You got audio out, and you got HDMI in, you got VGA and the other stuff. So anyway, what I need to do now is route me a groove that I can set this down in along there. And I want it just that wide. And then I'll be able to cut it up to make the frame to go around this. Okay, so as you guessed, one was not going to be enough to do the whole thing. So I had to take the other one that I had pulled off. And I'll probably just kind of use that far end over there. This end over here has got so much raw edge. I just don't think it would work out for what I'm doing. For some things, that would be great. And I'll save the rest of it for another project later. But for now, I'll just use that other end, I hope. We'll see. Now then, off camera, I went ahead. This is going to be my front edge here. The rough one. So I jointed the back edge. I ran over the joiner so I'd have a straight factory edge. I set up my router. For this monitor, it looks like it's a 1/4 inch dado that I need. So I put my 1/4 inch cutting bit in and lined it up about where I want it. Yeah, right in there. Not too deep because I've got to have something left for structural stability. Okay, so the miter saw set at 45. I want to come right down through that. In case you didn't know, power tools scare me. But I sure love doing this stuff. Okay, so I realized as I was putting things together here, doing a dry fit, that I really needed a 1/4 inch dado down both sides. One side for the screen, for the monitor, the other side for a piece of 1/4 inch plywood. So I can close off the back. And I also realized I need to do a 3/4 inch dado down the middle of one of these because the monitor, when you do all this, get all this stuff, it comes with the controls here. So you have your power button and your menu and all that stuff. So you'll need that where you can access it. And I want it on the side, so I'm going to cut a dado into it to do that with. I mean, I could probably just as easily mount it in the back in the 1/4 inch ply. And now that I stand here and think about it, I think that's what I'm going to do. But I had to get these extra dados in there. I need to clean them out a little bit. So off camera, I cut out a piece of 1/2 mil underlayment to use in there, which obviously fits quite nicely, which is good because you may need to take it out someday. Someday you don't want it too tight. So now what I'm going to do, this is the panel that has your inputs on it. I need to mark out where everything goes, which is going to be a challenge, right? Let's see. Got that on that end, that's on that end. This is my height. Okay, so I got all my pieces now, and I've drawn an arrow on the inside of these that points to the front, so I don't get them backwards. Because the back, you remember, we ran it across the joiner and cleaned it up some. And I've cut out the inside, or the back side, and I wrote inside here, so I know which way it goes. I ended up, instead of trying to make individual holes, this stuff's not strong enough for that. I just took the jigsaw and cut out the area that goes in there, and then dug down a little bit for this piece right here, this where it connects. I couldn't go deep enough to do the whole thing in because that would mean cutting a hole all the way through. And I don't want to do that. So now, we're going to see what happens when we try to put this thing together. Okay, so all my pieces are laid out. And I'm going to glue and nail them so they hold together faster. Okay, that went. So this is the bottom. That's the top. You can tell because of the way the label is on the inside. And this connects at the top on this monitor. All right, let's add us a little glue. Right across the face of that. And put the excess on there. Okay, so I'm attaching the panel here that everything plugs into to the base. There are 4 places in here for screws that they've left, so we can screw it down. And I'm using 3/8 inch number 6 screws, which seem to be perfect, which is unusual for me today. All right, now that's in. Let me over and around. So I got to plug in. I hope I get that in right. Got glue all over my fingers. I'm about to get some more because I still got to put the control panel in, and that's done with CA glue. There. That into that hole, those go into that hole, and like that, and boom. In there. And here we go. It is done now and operating. Got the security cameras fed into it. And the bottom is just screwed on so that I can open it up and do maintenance if I need to. And if you're going to hang this on a wall, you can, what I would suggest is, let's see, where's we at? There we are. I would mount these on the side so you can get to them. And this, I would face it out the bottom and as close to the back as you can so that you can get the cables coming straight up into them and not have them sticking out like this. Like this, you couldn't hang it off a wall, but we didn't want it on the wall. My wife likes it right where it's at, so that's where it will rest, I guess. But that's how you can turn a laptop into a rustic style TV monitor, computer monitor, or whatever kind of monitor.